Hi, it's Miss Lisa from the St. Paris Public Library. Today's Anytime story is called The U.S. Supreme Court. Have you ever made a decision about rules? Then you have done something that happens in the U.S. Supreme Court time and again. The U.S. Supreme Court is part of the judicial branch of the U.S. government. The Supreme Court building is in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C. Chapter 2. Branches of the U.S. government. The judicial branch is one of three parts of the U.S. government. The other parts are the legislative branch and the executive branch. The legislative branch writes and passes the nation's laws. U.S. Capitol, legislative reports to Congress, House of Representatives, and the Senate. The executive branch makes sure laws are being followed. Executive branch to president to vice president. In the judicial branch, there are many courts. The Supreme Court is the highest court. The judicial branch explains the Constitution and makes decisions on laws. Judicial, Supreme Court. Court, a place where a judge or judges decide cases about laws. Constitution, the written system of laws in the United States. It states the rights of people and the power of government. Chapter 3. A case goes to court. To decide if a law has been broken, people take a case to court. A local or state court makes a ruling on a case. People can ask to have that ruling looked at by another court. The Supreme Court reviews cases that were first decided by other courts. Sometimes people ask the Supreme Court to review their case. Case, a suit or action in law. Ruling, a decision made by a court. An artist's drawing of a Supreme Court case in 1910. The justices review cases to decide whether or not a federal law was broken. Federal laws must follow the U.S. Constitution. Justices study the Constitution to make a decision. They also consider decisions made on past cases. Then the justices vote to make a decision. Justice, a judge on the Supreme Court. Federal, having to do with the U.S. government. Fact, about 10,000 cases are submitted to the Supreme Court each year. From those, only about 100 to 150 cases are heard. Chapter 4. Court in Session. A term of the U.S. Supreme Court begins on the first Monday in October. A term lasts 1 year. The court takes recess at the end of June. It begins again on the first Monday in October. During summer, justices continue to read cases and prepare for the upcoming term. Term, the time during which a court is in session to review cases. Recess, a break. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Chapter 5. What happens in court? In most courts, lawyers ask people questions to explain a case. A judge or jury listens to people talk about the case. The judge or jury then makes a decision. In the Supreme Court, only lawyers talk to the justices about a case. Justices ask the lawyers questions to get more information. No jury is used. Lawyer, a person who is trained to advise people about the law. Jury, a group of people that decides if a person is guilty of a crime. An artist's drawing of lawyers presenting a case in the Supreme Court in 2013. Chapter 6. The Justice Decide. Justices meet in private to talk about a case. Then they vote on a ruling. At least 5 of the 9 justices must agree on the ruling. 1 justice writes down the court's decision. Justices also may write about why they do not agree with the ruling. The Supreme Court's decision is final. Fact, because the number of justices on the Supreme Court is uneven, there can never be a tie. The justices' private meeting room. How many justices? The first Supreme Court met in 1789. At that time, there were just 5 justices and a Chief Justice. Today, 9 justices serve on the Supreme Court. Justices serve until they decide to leave or ask to leave or die. Then the President of the United States appoints a new justice. The Senate votes to approve the President's choice for a new justice. Appoint, to choose someone for a job. Senate, one of the 2 parts of Congress that make laws. Fact, 5 different U.S. presidents appointed the 9 Supreme Court justices serving as of 2013. These justices are: Chapter 8, the Chief Justice. The leader of the Supreme Court is the Chief Justice. Although the Chief Justice is the leader, he or she gets just 1 vote on a case, like the other justices. The Chief Justice presides over arguments in the Supreme Court. He or she also usually decides which justice writes down the court's decision on each case. Preside, to be in charge of. Argument, a reason or reasons given for or against a case. Amazing but true. Did you know that the Supreme Court has its own police department? The Supreme Court of the United States Police is located in Washington, D.C. It is one of the smallest federal police departments. Its job is to protect the Supreme Court building, the justices, visitors, and employees. About 125 officers are part of this force. The U.S. Supreme Court.